In this video, we're going to be talking about the 55 by 5 manifestation technique, a simple and powerful tool that you can use to manifest your desire. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tom, and I make videos that help you empower your higher self and manifest your dream life. If you'd like to win 60 minutes of one-on-one coaching with me, comment below. It is done. Winners are announced every week. So we're going to be exploring the 55 by 5 technique. So let's start by defining it and giving a few examples, and then we're going to move into how it works, including some key tips so you can see results, and then a little bit of a different thing that I don't see many videos on YouTube talking about, which is the secret behind the power of this technique. Now, why would you want to know any of this? Well, basically, this technique is very simple and powerful and easy to do for anyone in their life. It's a short experiment, but it can literally bring and materialize in your reality something very meaningful and exciting to you. So it's a simple way to impress your subconscious mind, and then in doing so to shift to a timeline that's favorable for what you want to show up in it. So basically, in short, the 55 by 5 is a process, a technique in which you write a simple written affirmation that you come up with describing what you want to create and manifest in your life. And you write it down 55 times for 5 days consecutively. This affirmation, this statement. You harness your thought energy and emotion as you write out this affirmation and this statement. And then, as I said before, in this process, this should shift you internally and therefore outer reality being external reflection of what's inside of you and the subconscious parts of your mind, your consciousness, that reflects onto the screen of space around you. Who would do this? Who would benefit the most from this? Because not everyone resonates with the 55 by 5. So really, it's someone that likes writing things. And in writing, you're able to sort of place your conscious awareness more deeply into the words, into those definitions and what they are emotively trying to evoke within you, that dream reality with the thing you want in it. So by writing these words over and over and over again, you sort of soak your consciousness into them, and it can more powerfully shift that inner space within you. So if you're a writing type, this will benefit you. Nonetheless, even if you're not so much a writing type like myself, I've still done this many times and seen awesome results. Now, how does this work? How does the 55 by 5 work in a broad nutshell? So this is my sort of model of manifestation and reality creation. And what you'll see here is you've got a frame, that's one present moment. One present moment is one manifestation of energy, of frequency of consciousness. And it's sort of frozen and moves, creating the appearance of linear time flowing, but actually it's one frequency snapshot. That's what a present moment frame is. And of course, you are this person in it. That's you as the stick person in a present moment frame. And at any given time, you are in a certain frequency or a certain vibratory state. And this state of being is the sum total of your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your beingness or spiritual connection to life. It creates a certain high or low frequency state, and then you start expanding through timelines, through present moment frames, one after the other and after the other, like this, manifesting what you want in harmony with your frequency, your internal state of consciousness. So we've got the two minds. The top half being the conscious mind. This is where you will select your sentence, your desire that you wish to manifest. And then you've got the bottom half of the circle, which is your subconscious mind. And this subconscious mind is where you'll be impressing with emotion your desire. You get involved with the thought, your thought energy shifts, your emotional state shifts, and it increases your frequency to harmonize with the nature of what you're impressing within it. So if you are impressing a sentence, and I'll give you some examples in a second, around increased financial abundance or a relationship or a career situation, that has a certain frequency. Those inner beliefs, those external beliefs about reality, has a frequency. It impresses within, shifts you, and then you start to propel the manifestation process. How does this work? Well, one classic model that I find very valuable is to look at the subconscious mind in the context of how Napoleon Hill, the writer of Think and Grow Rich, defines it, which is a doorway to the infinite intelligence, to a non-manifested plane. This can also be known as the quantum field of potential, the source consciousness, the infinite human imagination, God, etc. There's many different labels, but this is what I have demonstrated as above this sort of line. It's an unmanifested realm. Now, this is not a physical realm. It's something that you have to meditate in, turn within yourself, and connect to it by literally becoming it in your state of awareness. So this is a place of infinite possibility, infinite manifestations of present moment frames, appearances of consciousness itself in manifested forms in our plane, in our physical reality. So as you impress your subconscious using these repetition of this emotional sentence, your frequency interacts with this unmanifested plane, and you start to shift into a timeline where what it is that you've impressed in this realm manifests into a future present moment for you. So that's what this star is. You impress the star in, being your desire. The star is sort of an order placed within this unmanifested plane of reality. And then all of a sudden, the star, not only is it still harbored within you, within your subconscious sense of identity and belief structure and frequency, but it actually appears as a materialized form in your outer reality. So for example, financial abundance internally becomes an external sign of wealth. Maybe it's a fancy car, the house you want to buy, or literally increased cash and money in your physical bank account. That would be the manifestation of your desire, but in physical form, in a material external sense. Okay, so that's sort of how 55 by 5 works. Now let's move into some sentence structures and some key tips. So the way you could structure your sentence would be using first person affirmations. Here are some very common stems that I find work. One's being, I am so happy and grateful now that, I am, or I received such and such. They are short sentences and concise. That's key. Otherwise, you'll just be writing for too long, and you want this to be a powerful, potent process. So the sentence has to be of that nature. When you are writing out the sentences, you have to emotionally connect to them as much as possible without going overboard. The sense that you're trying to capture is a realistic emotional state, as if it was true. And you're sort of just resting in this state of consciousness of that dream reality with your desire manifested and enjoying it as if it's here, it's an active part of your life, and that's all there is to it. And next, I find it best to do these in the morning, right as you wake up, because you're coming out of a delta alpha brainwave state, and that's when your subconscious is still very impressionable. So I recommend doing it first thing in the morning. Now, the kinds of sentences can be anywhere from, I'm so happy and grateful now that my specific person texted me this week. I'm so happy and grateful now that I received a bonus sum of money of this amount. It can be quite specific and small, kind of things like that. Receiving free meals, free cups of coffee, favors, short little wins, small little wins in your life showing up. Well, they can be bigger desires such as, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm financially free and on the path of my soul's calling in life. That's a more general, but still equally emotionally powerful manifestation and desire, but it may take longer to manifest. But this process of the 55 by 5 will powerfully align you with that reality and start the process of it unfolding in this window. If you want to see results, I recommend choosing something small, specific, and tangible, something that you can believe will be possible, but something that you can also be relatively detached from seeing it happen. That's the key point that I will talk about in a second. So, those are some idea sentences, and if you are confused about this, drop your comment below and I'll review your sentence and give you a thumbs up. I'm happy to do that if you are confused about whether your sentence is right. So you have this sentence and now you're pressing it in. Now here are some key tips, and I'll probably go back to front in order of these. So one is that you can listen to this with some music, binaural music, some nice classical music, some spiritual meditative music, something that can really soak up that emotional state and help it really percolate within you. That's something that you can do. Next thing is, after you have done the technique, is to carry on your life with equanimity. This basically means detachment, as I was saying before, not looking for it obsessively, not worrying, is it going to happen, is it not going to happen, but just flowing with life from a state of belief. And the state of belief is really supposed to be so strong that it expresses itself as neutrality. That's what belief is. It's simply like, how do you believe that 1 + 1 = 2? It's just a belief. It's just simply a truth to you that you've accepted as part of your worldview. Same with this. It will manifest, it has manifested, it's in the process of it such that you can just let it go and allow it to sprout, allow the seed to grow and express itself in your external reality. That can be hard, but just basically the key to living with this state of balance is simply to get on with your life and just let it go and just interact with yourself normally and just stay in that state of quiet, peaceful, calm, faith, and neutrality. Another tip, and I'll emphasize this again, is emotional connection to the words is key. So you want to have a conscious connection to the words when you're writing them out. If you're going to write them out just like you're writing lines, like you're trying to get out of detention, then you may as well not do it, because that's not impressing you. There's no belief behind that. There's no cultivation of a new frequency. So emotions. Now here's the interesting thing, and we'll cover this more about in the secret power behind it, but timing. If you want to keep doing this after 5 days, you're on a roll, you feel like you resonate with doing it further, then I encourage you to do that. Otherwise, you can stop after the 5 days. But really, there's no time limit on this that I've found in my experience. I've done these for up to 90 days sometimes, but I've just kept doing them as daily habits and rituals. So if you find this to be a powerful, positive force in your life, keep doing it for longer than 5 days. Okay. So those are the key tips, and now let's go on to the secret power. This is the thing I'm most excited about, because I always wondered, why 55 by 5? What's the deal? Why 5 by 5? Is that arbitrary? Is there a secret hidden power behind this? What's going on here? So I've contemplated this a fair bit and sort of drew from other resources that I've found in manifestation, spirituality, etc. And as far as I've come up with and can tell so far, there's two key theories as to why 55 by 5 is powerful and will work to manifest things, or at least that's what we see in the community, is that there is some kind of powerful result that this will bring in manifesting what you want. Number one relates to a concept in reality transurfing called pendulums. Now, pendulums within the human context of reality is a structural unit of thought energy. And this unit of thought energy has certain parameters that are relatively stable. So on the 55 by 5, that structural thought energy would be the fact that if you write something out for 55 times for 5 days, it will manifest what you want. That's the belief, that's the structure, it's simple and easy to follow. And when lots and lots of people in a community feed a certain belief system, a certain concept, they feed lots of thought energy into it such that it becomes a pendulum, which is sort of an independent thought structure of its own. And when this happens, it sort of has its own gravitational pull, its own momentum. And that means when more adherents and people start to buy into this concept, this thought structure, it builds more and more power. It becomes easier for more people to join into it. More belief is put behind it. And therefore, because beliefs create reality, consciousness creates reality, the more people are all backing a certain idea, a certain technique, a certain belief, the more results are bouncing back into moments, more manifestations are happening, and the cycle keeps building up, and it starts becoming this big pendulum thought structure. So with pendulums in the 55 by 5, if a lot of people are doing it, and a lot of people are talking about it, and a lot of people are seeing results, more people are bought in, and the pendulum grows, and therefore it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I think that's what's happening here. A pendulum has its own momentum. There's lots of external evidence, and therefore more people are enticed to join. There's lots of support in terms of community and ease of adhering to the system because it's got a very clear structure and clear parameters. So all of that happens, you put that all together, and an arbitrary number like 55 by 5 actually becomes a certain magical number that manifests desires. But in reality, is it arbitrary? I think quite possibly. If someone had come up with 44 by 4 or perhaps 66 by 6, I would bet that if enough people believed it, you could see very powerful results too. Hence why you can keep continuing it and it's not going to affect anything, in my humble opinion. Or Perhaps, because I'm open-minded and I like seeing both sides, perhaps I've looked up things like numerological significance of 55 by 5 or 555 as a number, as a spiritual number with significance, and I found that many people refer to this specific number as a high frequency number. That's another sort of loose, tentative hypothesis of mine. But nonetheless, it's such a short, clear, simple, and powerful exercise that I don't blame you for being interested in it and wanting to try it out, because why not? You will see amazing results from it. You will see a shift in that time when you commit to it with sincerity, with a worthy desire that lights you up and excites you. And then, of course, just let it go and it will happen. So good luck trying your 55 by 5. Leave me your comments below if you see some good results. Stay tuned for more videos on how to manifest your desires and dream life. And check out my one-on-one coaching offers on my website below. Thank you.
Boom, 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 boom.